not just in terms of where it's played, but the makeup of how it works out is a broad conversation topic that lots of people have been chipping in on in rugby league in the last week. Okay, that's it for results from round of world of rugby league. We're now going to move forward to preview and predictions. Preview and predictions now, and it's Super League round 16 that we'll start with, but we'll fly through these because we want to give a bit of a focus too on the Summer Bash, and we're going to tip all the games down there in that because we will be at the Summer Bash. SLP will be represented as it always is in a big way in Blackpool, so look out for us. We'll be in the north stand of Bloomfield Road there, so make sure you come and say hello and share a pint and a chat with us on Saturday if you are at the Summer Bash. But we'll start first with round 16 of Super League. Thursday Sky televised game, 7:45 p.m. Two of Saturday's big winners from the Magic weekend. Castleford host St Helens. How do you think this one's going to go? They only met a couple of weeks ago and it kind of was a bit one-sided in Saints' favour in the end.
Yeah, and it was very one-sided at the first round of the league as well. General kind of rule of thumb: keep tipping the team at the top of the league until you hear otherwise. So St Helens win for me. Probably it'll be close, but maybe by 6.
Yeah, I think Casa improved, and Saturday certainly showed that, and they'll be carrying a lot of confidence into this one. But Saints are a fitter in terms of health and also more oiled machine, I think, at the moment. It's hard to tip against them, like you say, so I'm going Saints as well. Friday night Sky game, 7:45, is Warrington versus Hull FC. This one maybe might be quite a bit interesting, but it's the Hull FC injuries really that are damaging. I know they've got some lads back in the forwards this week, which was good for them, but decimated in the outside backs even more so after the Griffin news. So I can't see past Warrington getting back to winning ways. I'm going Wire probably by 2 or 3 clear scores.
Yeah, I think last week was a bit of a blip for Warrington. Really, they were gonna. It was the loss that they needed to have. I think Warrington will be too good for a banged up, patched up Hull FC team. So Warrington by 10.
Okay. Next fixture, also Friday night, Widnes Wakefield. This is a tougher one to pick. Where do you think where does your choice lie in this one?
See, I've tipped Widnes a couple of times this year and they've bitten me on the arse. So Wakefield came
Not
on
making it
better.
personal or anything.
No. Hey, there's a tipping competition to win. But no, I think Wakefield were obviously finished the game better last week. I just think they're just a slightly better team. So Wakefield by 6.
I'm going a little bit high overhead here, in that I feel a bit sorry for Widnes. I think they've had some plucky defeats in the last few times I've seen them play, or listened to them on the radio and things like that. So they're at home. They have a good advantage at home. It feels like. And Wakey seem a little bit disrupted. I'm not sure if some of the players are a bit disgruntled with the way things have gone recently and not being picked and those sorts of things. I just have a sneak that it's going to be Widnes in this one, so I think Widnes in a narrow win. Okay, also on Friday. God, there's a lot of games on Friday this week. Which is good for the Summer Bash because most people
Yeah,
can get
that's
along
what
to
I
it.
was thinking. I'm not saying it's deliberate, but yeah, there you go.
So Salford versus Huddersfield on Friday night. I was really impressed by Huddersfield in the first half. I know they fell off a bit in the second half, but this is a confidence boosting run that they're starting to get on. And Salford, it seems that Salford are going to pick Jack Littlejohn, whatever. So whilst they continue to do that, I'm struggling to pick them to win. I'm going to go with Huddersfield to win this one, even though Salford are good at
Yeah,
home. Huddersfield for me.
yeah. This is one of those that it wouldn't surprise me if it went the other way. But I'm also going to stick with the Giants. I think they played pretty well last week. Just a bit of chronic lack of confidence kind of nearly tripped them up at the end. But I can't see Salford really kind of picking up noticeably from last week. So Huddersfield by 6.
Okay, Friday 8 p.m. It's another repeat from the Challenge Cup a couple of weekends ago, and it's Hull Kingston Rovers hosting Wigan Warriors 8 p.m. kickoff as well. This one, obviously, I'm going to pick my Wigan Warriors to win, and also I think Hull KR, whilst they're missing probably the best two players in Maguire in terms of one of the most important players they've got, and Mulhern, who's been their best player so far this year. They're doing it tough with injuries. His Vivai's going to be out as well. He's been a threatening player who caused Wigan a few problems in the cup game. So I'm going to go Wigan in this one. I can't pick against my boys.
No, and I'm not stupid enough to pick Hull KR either. So Wigan for me. Um, and I'm not against Hull KR, but Wigan are a vastly superior team. So Wigan by 14.
Okay, and then on Saturday afternoon, 5 p.m., Sky will be showing this one. So I'm not sure if it's going to be on a different channel or on the red button behind the Summer Bash, but it's Catalan versus Leeds, and this throws up an interesting fixture because Leeds, as we have heard, deep in the mire in terms of injuries, um, and Catalan had a bit of a confidence booster of late. What do you see happening in this one?
It's a tricky one because yeah. I mean, Leeds were absolutely abject last week, and I don't see them putting on two games in a row like that. Catalan have, everyone's been keen to say, oh, they've won, three out of the last four, but a couple of those are against League One teams. Um, this is a tricky one. Catalan by 2. Go on, why not?
Well, I've picked Catalan as well in this one. I think that Leeds' injury woes are so big that, and it's clearly playing on the mind because they're talking about it,
Yeah.
um, and using it as not as it's a legitimate excuse when you've got that many injuries to the same sort of positions in a way, but if your mindset is let's talk about it being a problem rather than it's something we should overcome, I sort of feel you're not in the right space. Whereas Catalan, maybe if they can get some sort of consistency at halfback, um, might even push for that eighth spot because they've got enough talent to. So I think they're going to win this one at home. Okay, the big event though this weekend is the Summer Bash, and like I said, we will be there,
We will.
and it's going to be a cracker. And the first game is actually going to be Fev Ladies against Bradford Ladies, a repeat of last year's grand final in the women's game. So that should be good. I think that kicks off around about 12:30 on the
Yeah,
Saturday. So get
I'm
down
in
early
for that.
to watch that one. But the championship action gets underway at 3 o'clock. All these games are on Sky Sports over the weekend. Barrow versus Sheffield is the first one of the games. I know that Sheffield won away at Barrow a few weeks ago earlier in the season, one of their rare wins. I kind of think that Barrow are a bit of a better side than Sheffield are at the moment, so I'm going to go Barrow. But this is one of the ones that I could have tossed a coin on, sort of. I think it's going to be a close one.
Yeah, tricky one. If in doubt, go for Yorkshire. Sheffield.
I think that's a fair shout. It could go either way. I
It
feel.
could. It could.
Okay, Saturday at 5:15. First of the real exciting games. There's three really good games I think that we can watch. And Halifax versus Featherstone is the first one of those. Halifax had a bit of a disappointing draw with Dewsbury just at the weekend. Featherstone had a disappointing defeat. Both will be looking to bounce back from those games, and both do have top four ambitions for that middle eight. Who are you picking in this one?
This is kind of a match between the best of the kind of semi-pros, isn't it?
Yeah,
Really, traditionally the ones that kind of flirting with getting in the middle eight. I'm going to go for Featherstone to bounce back. I think they need it, and they need to kind of. I think this will help them to kill Halifax. Help to kill Halifax's chances of getting in that top four off. So Featherstone for me.
it is crucial for Halifax. I definitely agree, and Feather still carrying a suspension or two from the cup game, but I just think Feather have got a few more players that are playing to a high caliber. They'll struggle to get anyone in from Leeds, but they've shown enough when I've seen, particularly young Holmes in the halves. Well, he's not that young anymore, is he? But Holmes in the halves, I think is probably going to be the player best player on the pitch. So I'm going to go Fev too. Okay, the main event on Saturday at 7:30 on Sky. Don't miss this one. It could get tasty. It is. It is Canada Lee versus Lee in when Toronto play against the Centurions, and it's top versus fifth, but that doesn't necessarily tell you the full picture because Lee are the form side in the championship at the moment, even though Toronto are also going very well.
The top two teams in terms of form lines, definitely.
I'm going to go with Lee.
Interesting. They've got a pretty good record when they played the Bash.
Yeah, they've been there twice and won twice.
Sorry, are we picking number of cards or are we picking winner?
Yeah, who's going to win the fight? Right.
Okay, so I'm going to say Toronto win the match, but Lee have the most cards. There you go. To Toronto to squeak it. They're going to out Lee in this one. I've
got a sneak that Briley's going to miss a kick. That's going to be crucial. That's my sneak on this one. So I'm going to go with
proper
Lee.
Mystic Meg stuff.
Yeah. Okay, Sunday 1 p.m. Sky. Toulouse versus London. I don't know why this one is an earlier game, other than that the London fans have a long way to travel, but surely they'll be staying over both nights anyway. You would think.
This is definitely the best game on Sunday. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the next one we'll have a say on in a second. But Toulouse versus London. I think London have found their point scoring form again recently, and whilst Toulouse are a good side, this should be a high scoring one that I'll tip in favour of London. I think it's going to be about 40-30. It'll be a similar game to the Wolfpack Toulouse game, I think, but London will just edge it, I feel.
Yeah, I'm going to go for Toulouse.
Yeah?
Toulouse to win.
Okay, Sunday 3:15 p.m. This is an interesting one. It's the bottom two. Rochdale versus Swinton. I think because of that, it's going to be close, because they're both close to each other in the table.
Dogfight.
How do you see this one going?
Neither of these teams particularly inspire me with confidence. Swinton picked up a good point last week. Swinton in a close one, but I can see this one getting a bit feisty as well, actually.
Rochdale Oldham a couple of years ago was a very tasty
game.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking of, I think.
It was last year, that one, I think, actually, yeah. I'm going Swinton as well. I think Liam Paisley scored a couple of tries last week, and is going to do us proud in this one. Actually, I was half tempted to go to buy a Swinton shirt and support Swinton in this one, but I'm going to rep SLP, I think, instead.
Yeah.
Sunday 5:30, the Summer Bash rounds off with the Heavy Woolen Derby, Batley versus Dewsbury, and the nature of this game is that the two teams are very similar, very evenly matched. I just hope that it's a more entertaining fixture than these two played out last year, because it was certainly the least entertaining game I thought last year, and I was a bit annoyed with myself for staying around to watch it. It was of that calibre. I'm going to go Dewsbury. They'll be buoyed by a good draw against Halifax, and they've got some experienced players in there that maybe have tasted victory in the last couple of years. I'm going to go Dewsbury.
See, I think it's interesting. There's a few differences here of opinion here. I think Batley are the better team.
Because we're guessing.
This is, a little bit of guesswork. But yeah, I mean they are very similar teams, and they tend to drag each other down in these derbies. But Batley are the better team, so I'll stick with Batley on this one.
Good stuff. Okay, picked out League One game of the week: Whitehaven versus York. York are going really well, but they're on the road at a tough competitive team who are looking for getting their way back into that top five. So I think that'll be an interesting game there. In the NRL, the Brit picks this week: the Raiders versus the Sea Eagles. That's Friday at 9 a.m. You can get that on the Watch NRL app. Roosters versus the Titans, if Joe Greenwood ever gets to play for them again. We keep waiting.
It might happen.
Holding out hope. That's Saturday at 6 a.m. That you can watch that one on Sky Sports. Warriors versus Rabbitohs. See some Burgesses in action at 8:30 a.m. on Sky Sports on Saturday morning. Then Panthers versus the Dragons. So they followed my advice Alan, and they've put on all the British.
There's actually some British
performers. Yeah,
players.
Panthers versus the Dragons, top of the table Dragons against
That'd be a
second
good
place
game.
Panthers. So that should be